Hello. That was weird. That's so awkward. I was talking to my fiance. Didn't realize the camera started. It's whatever. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm the Black Manga Critic, y'all. What is up? Welcome to Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 255 to chapters 257, live reaction and review. It's been a while, y'all. It's been a while since we've read Shokugeki no Soma. Not we, but like me. Like since I read Shokugeki no Soma. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Because I'm just trying to remember, like, from what I remember, from where we left off, we were doing some stuff for Window and everything like that. It's pretty interesting. We got a little bit of insight, not a lot of insight, I think, actually, in terms of Tsukasa, what's going on with him and everything like that. So, you know, it's hype, it's live, it's cool. I'm really looking forward to these chapters, though, because, like, it's been a while. Like three chapters behind, like, oh, boy. You know what I mean? I will say, like, you know, it's harder for me to make sure that I get that I read every weekly Shonen Jump title on a Monday because I get home so late. So it's difficult to get through all of them. You know what I mean? And, like, really use my time wisely. So I got to sort of pick the ones that I know I really want to read on that Monday. And then I got to figure out maybe spread out my reactions throughout the week. So I might start doing that so I don't fall behind on like chapters in the way that I have. Like 3 chapters is like too much for a weekly Shonen Jump title. 3 chapters is way too much for me. Like I like being caught up and reading it every time it comes out. So I gotta be better about that. But let's get into Shokugeki no Soma chapters 255 and 257, y'all. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's get into it. So 255 is entitled "Those Who Wander the Wilderness," and of course, you know Rindo, like she loves traveling, looking up like really exotic, interesting, rare ingredients, stuff like that. And of course, she has the resources to do it. Second seed of the Elite 10. We already know what it is. So let's get into it. See what's happening. All right. What? What do you mean? The main dish you created today. You don't think that it was a perfect 100 out of 100, do you? Huh? Excuse me. Come on, Tsukasa. Just forget about that rude wacko. Yo, Rindo's spitting facts. This guy's like he's clearly like disturbed in a few ways, more than a few ways. You made a great dish that all of the guests really liked. Isn't that good enough? I thought it was fun and interesting too. Yeah, thanks. It makes me happy when you, Saito, and the others say you like what I've made. But lately, when someone who obviously doesn't know what they're talking about says they like my dish, I don't know why, but it annoys me. Tsukasa? He was different, though. He was kind enough to tell me that my banquet was terrible. Mr. Tsukasa, you've received another invite from America. A Japanese food tasting event has requested you as a guest chef. The venue is in Los Angeles. So he's in Los Angeles, palm trees, Hollywood. He's trying out some food. And he spots Tsukasa. And once again, Azami being extra creepy. This is so extra creepy. I can't. The feeling that just went through me just now is like extreme discomfort. Like it's such an uncomfortable look. Like, you know what I mean? Like on some like Predator type stuff. Like, oh, it's just a coincidence. I happen to spot this young boy that I've already met in Los Angeles. I'm like, we're like not in the same, you know what I mean? It's just creepy to me. It is creep factor, y'all. Creep factor. Yo, Shigami, what's up? What's up? Yona stream will be tomorrow along with your lie in April. I'm gonna do both of those because again, I have spring break, so I have the time to like sort of make sure that I do the streams that I want to do. but I'm gonna make sure that I do. But I'm gonna make sure Yona's tomorrow, as well as your line April. So there's gonna be 2 streams that I do tomorrow. Today, weekly Shonen Jump. I'm gonna catch up to everything that I haven't caught up to. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. But yo, Izami stalker mode, like it's creepy. It's creepy. It makes me extremely uncomfortable. I don't like it. Hello there. You're the chef from Vegas, yes? What a coincidence. Coincidence? It seems more likely that you knew exactly where to find me. Creepy. Let's not split hairs. Instead, why not enjoy this little reunion? You're free to walk away, of course. Yo, this dude is so creepy. I can't. I have a hard time just reading through this because it makes me so uncomfortable, y'all. Like, But I'd like to think you're interested in what I have to say. Huh? How about a little change of scenery? Let's say Pablo Picasso was still alive. Huh? Well, it need to be Picasso specifically. Jackson Pollock would do, or Marcel Duchamp, Casimir Malevich. Anyone like them, really. Casimir Malevich? What? Now, let's say this artist displays a brand new painting. Would you be able to look at that painting and tell if it was truly art or merely a canvas covered with random paint splotches? I don't think so. I don't know all that much about art. Exactly. Now let's change each painting for Now let's exchange paintings for cooking. Say that you tasted a dish. Would you know who made it, what they were aiming for, and what tricks they used? Yes. But what of the people without a proper palate and training? It doesn't matter if that twist on your dish was truly inspired or if you overreached and it fell flat. Their reactions won't change. Those self-proclaimed foodies trip over themselves to praise your cooking because they're impressed with your title. You're growing sick of that, aren't you? I say, forget those plebeians who wouldn't know gourmet if it bit them in their backside. Your energies are best spent creating your art only for people who can truly comprehend its brilliance. People like me. May I ask your name, sir? Izami. As a sign of our friendship and mutual understanding, let's call each other by our first names, Aishi. That young lady who was with you in Vegas, she seemed a step above the common incompetent. Did she not come this time? Oh, Rindo? No, she's probably enjoying freshly cooked piranhas in the Amazon about now. Did you say the Amazon? Yes, she's just that kind of person. I enjoyed our time together, Aishi. Get in touch next time you come to America. For you, I will make time. I'd like to speak with you again about cooking. Oh, come on. This dude is mad creepy. The creep factor is so real with this chapter, yo. I can't explain. Like, I'm gonna try. You know, like when you like when you watch like a show, maybe it's like Criminal Minds or what's another show that's like sort of similar? One of those crime shows, right? Law and Order or something like that. And like there's like those episodes that deal with like child like abduction or child abuse or anything like pedophilia, whatever. Like this is like it's the same creep factor feeling that I'm getting from this dude. Like it just I can't. It creeps me out, y'all. It really does. And I think that's the point of this point of the chapter is like there's supposed to be a creep factor here. There's supposed to be an unease that you feel with their relationship and Izami, and the way that he interacts with like children. I think in a lot of ways it's just creep factor, man. Oh, man. You know what I mean? I didn't even mind the whole thing with Joshiro and his admiration and his like obsession with him because I understand like I get that. I get like that's like that makes more sense because they're peers. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like okay, like there's something like like yes, like you're definitely obsessing over this person like to the point where like you might actually like do harm to this individual in certain ways, unknowingly, inadvertently. But like this is just like creepy. Like dude, like you an adult. This is clearly still a child. What are you doing? It's creepy. That's how I feel about it. You know? Let me move on. Let's move on. How long has it been? It feels like forever since I was last able to relax and talk with someone about cooking. Aishi, what do you think it truly means to improve your cooking? At first glance, cooking may seem like a vast, untamable wilderness, but it isn't. Not really. Listen, Aishi. There is a clear goal to cooking, a correct answer, if you will, as long as you don't make any missteps. Anyone can have a direct path to that goal and reach it painlessly, confidently, and with absolute peace of mind. Huh? But how? First, you must never listen to any plebeian oinkling. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Yeah, not only does he have a creep factor, but like you legit want to punch him in the face. Like he's like, and again, this is like like characters like these are really well. I think Izami is a great character. He creeps me out and is super like, and you want to punch him in the face. But I think like that's a great character, and that's great character writing. Like when it's done right, it works, you know, and it does what it's supposed to do extremely well. You will crumble under their towering ignorance long before you reach your goal. Instead, all you need to do is use the correct compass, one that points out with the proper path with absolute accuracy. I mean, that's, you know, Erina, right? At least that's what he has in mind, like people with like a perfect palate or whatever. A compass that will guide all chefs out of the wilderness of uncertainty. My daughter holds it. It's called the divine tongue. Whoa. That's the appetizer Rindo Senpai made. Look at all the beautiful, delicate layers. It's a perfect millefeuille. Hey, I call it mushroom millefeuille with Dulix. I can't pronounce it. My French is not great. Filling. Like, eat up. Incredible. The exciting flavors of multiple kinds of mushrooms melt together with the crispy, ultra-thin layers of pie crust in a moist and magical harmony. The main ingredient Rindo Kobayashi chose was shiitake mushrooms. She used olive oil to cook them in a confit, trapping and magnifying their flavor, umami flavor. Yeah, confit is a French technique for cooking an ingredient over low heat in oil or grease. Yeah, like that. I know that. Like duck confit or whatever. Wait, this tang. Champignon mushrooms and shallots sauteed to a golden brown in garlic and butter and then simmered to a paste in broth. Cracked nuts and heavy cream were blended in to make a douce. I don't know. I'm gonna stop butchering this French. Which he then sandwiched between the millefeuille layers. But the deciding factor of this dish is its sourness. A perfectly balanced tart note makes the salty savoriness of the confit stand out, while allowing the mellow sweetness of the shiitake to linger on the tongue. Though I can't put my finger on what this sour flavor is from. What is it? Ants. I extracted formic acid from ants and mixed it into my duel. Too much formic acid is poisonous, but of course, but in small amounts, it can be a wonderful culinary accent. It has no extraneous sweetness, just a sharp, invigoratingly tart tang. Not only that, if you add it to a sweet base, it can create deeper, more nuanced flavors than the more commonly used citrus fruits. Using this unusual ingredient is definitely no mean feat. Kobayashi's skill has undoubtedly reached a professional level. Extracting it from older ants would give it so much formic acid it would wreck the flavor. Using young ones gave me just enough for a nice, refreshing sweetness. Man, she really is good. I love how Soma's just like, you know, and I think that's what like they complement one another. Like they're like not even that they complement one another, but like they are very similar. You know, like same hair, same eye color, same like, you know, unorthodox kind of cooking styles and stuff like that, and ingredients and everything like that. They're very similar. That's why Rindo was like, I was sure that you'd want to come to this side because like they're extremely similar in terms of like cooking and stuff. You know, but they just have different values, I guess. Maybe they don't. I don't know. You know, we have to learn. We have to find out. We have to find out. Geez, how stupidly good is Rindo Senpai? She made that delicate and amazing an appetizer while using ant extract of all crazy things. The appetizer is the first course to decorate any banquet. Its duty is to whet the appetite and pique the interest, which is precisely what this dish does. Yes, faced with the power of this dish, even the beautiful butterflies of the world of hot cuisine have no means of defending themselves. They can only be helplessly carried away, marched steadily and defiantly towards the main course. Like, this panel is so ridiculous. Like, it makes me laugh. It's really funny. But at least it's not like that, like ridiculous, like stupidly ridiculous lingerie thing. Like, I was like, I don't care about that. Like, that was dumb. That was just dumb to me. This dish alone provides a marvelous sense of satisfaction, yet leaves me eagerly awaiting the next course. It is a perfect 100 out of 100. There can be no more complete an appetizer. Whoa, whoa, no getting too satisfied yet. The main attraction is still to come, you know. There. This here is the greatest dish I'm presently capable of making. Oh boy. My very best true gourmet. My specialty. Yo! That was hype, though. What? Aishi Tsukasa is making his specialty? Yo, that was hype. That was hype. Yo, I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm looking forward to this. I gotta go on to the next chapter, yo. That's hype. All right, we're moving on to the March 26th issue of Weekly Shonen Jump. Let's do it. Let's do it. Chapter 256 is on page 148. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? It appears Aishi Tsukasa, the first seed himself, will be making his specialty, bruh. What Tsukasa put in the oven a moment ago, it was covered in a salt crust. I mean, Aishi's he specializes in French cooking, I think. So it'll be pretty interesting to see. What Tsukasa put in the oven a moment ago, it was covered in a salt crust. Baking with a salt crust. Salt is mixed with egg whites and then spread over the top of the dish to form a thick crust. Wow. This ensures no moisture escapes during baking, keeping the goodness of the ingredients concentrated inside. It's said that centuries ago, when Shogun Hideyoshi Toyotomi was deployed on maneuvers, he covered his fish in a salt crust to prevent it from rotting. Because of the insulating wall of salt, the dish is heated gently and evenly while in the oven. Its juiciness and deliciousness slowly growing within its protective shell. The dish is considered complete when you crack open the now golden brown salt crust. What? Wow, that's pretty dope. This is a dope panel. It may be our opponent's dish, but it's so dang impressive we just can't help but wish we could taste it ourselves. So that's a specialty of the Council of Ten's first seat. A glisteningly beautiful hunk of red meat was hiding underneath that crust. Oh boy. There. My specialty is done. The white armor plate sauce French for roe deer. Oh wow, okay. I can't pronounce that. I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to, I don't want to butcher the language. The main ingredient in my dish is venison. Okay. Venison. Wait a minute. When Miss Irina and I stood as judges for that informal Shokugeki, his dish then also used venison. He's trying to crush, yo. He's trying to crush Soma, yo. 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 He's legit coming. He's like, he want to curb. He legit wants to curb stomp Soma. This is some stuff, yo. When Miss Arena and I stood in as judges for that informal Shokugeki, his dish then also used venison. Even that dish was enough to blow Yukihira out of the water. Yo, are you telling me he had an even better venison recipe he could have used? I can't. It's too beautiful to touch. I could never dream of marring this work of art by cutting into it. Une, dear, you have no spine at all. Here, give me that. This is how you do it. I just hate these two women. They're just like jerks, yo. Ugh. They just like they're so annoying. I'm like, I just want them to like just go sit in the go sit in a corner and just like contemplate like why you're such jerks. Yukihira. You can try it too if you'd like. You can compare it to that other venison dish I made. Yo. What the? Where'd this massive savory flavor come from? It's like every last drop of deliciousness that had been trapped by the salt crust wallowed my tongue the moment I bit into it. The flavor is so powerful, it reverberates across the palate and into the back of the nose, a punch that vibrates all the way to the brain. This dish is leagues above the venison dish he made before. This, too, is thanks to baking it in a salt crust. That casing of white armor traps the meat juice's fragrance and the umami goodness of its blood inside, waiting to explode the moment you bite into it. It's enormously delicious flavor that impacts every sensory organ you have. Not only that, its already impressive flavor has been magnified by the appetizer. By being presented after an appetizer centered in mushrooms, yeah, which has a ton of umami and right, which pair exceptionally well with venison and being accented with the flavor boost of formic acid, its deliciousness had been raised to even greater heights. Rindo's dish pointed the way, but not to a mere final dish in a banquet. It was a signpost to a gourmet Eden, a paradise where all chefs are freed from earthly troubles, a beautiful land of peace and tranquility that we all desire. The man's acting like it's already decided. Well, he's got another thing coming. Yukihira and Miss Erina will see to that. Yeah, you tell him, big sis and Nikumi. Huh? What are you staring at, Yuki Ryoko? Uh-oh. Oh, yo! 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 Oh, snap. That's wild, man. What just happened? Oh, dear. I'm afraid it slipped out. My version of the gifting, that is. Huh? The gifting? When I taste something especially delicious, my spiritual essence pulses outward in a wave. And as a result, those near me are affected with a secondhand disrobing. None of that makes sense. Are you saying you can force others around you to disrobe just by eating something tasty? That sounds awfully familiar, actually. When someone officially marries into the Nakiri family, they gain more than just the name. They gain our special abilities, too. So, like, since Uncle Izami accepted the Nakiri name, it totes makes sense that he'd have gained powers like the gifting, too. What is up with that family? Yo, facts. That's so weird. Well, stuff like that does happen. No, it doesn't. My, I can't say I approve of forcing lovely young ladies to undress in such a public venue. Nikumichi just looks like she's wearing one of her usual risque outfits. I don't know about that. That's like extra. I didn't do it on purpose. It simply happens. After all, it's a sign that the dish I just tasted was just that delicious. The Nakiri family is famous for the disrobing, for its greater variant, the gifting to have occurred. It's proof that this dish, and indeed this whole course, is the real deal. The specialty of the first seat on the Council of 10, made with all his skill and talent. The appetizer preceding it was nothing short of amazing either. Rindo Kobayashi poured everything she had into creating a dish that would amplify the main dish coming after it. With that boost, Aishi Tsukasa was able to polish his dish to the greatest gleam possible. I can't begin to imagine what gourmet course could be greater than this. The two best chefs in the Totsuki Institute. A two-course meal created by the best these two had to offer could be nothing less than true gourmet. Now then, let us summarize events, shall we? The council team has presented the greatest possible main dish in the greatest possible way. On the other side, Erina has been tasked with creating her team's main dish, but she is presently contaminated and has forgotten my teachings. In her current state, she is incapable of true gourmet. If you wish to win, you have no choice but to somehow use teamwork to create a miracle, and it seems there's little hope of that happening. Accordingly, it is plain to see that victory is simply out of your reach. Tsukasa-senpai. This isn't the dish you made when we had our face-off. So basically, it's your way of saying you went easy on me. You dissed me good, senpai. Oh, that match. Boy, that brings back memories. But I intended no disrespect. I just figured I didn't need to use my specialty to beat you. But this time, the theme is true gourmet. It's only natural I would use the best possible recipe at my disposal, my specialty. Well, okay then. If I have to go big or go home, then I'm just going to have to bust that out. That? A specialty strong enough to beat even Aishi Tsukasa. I couldn't make it then. But now, it's on. Right here. Right now. Yo, that was a hype chapter. That was super hype. That was an awesome, awesome chapter. I love that chapter. That was fantastic. That was so good, man. That was so good. Oh man. Yo, facts. Yoga mesh look like. Yo, that's facts. Yo, that was wild. The whole like disrobing thing. It was so ridiculous, but like it made me laugh because it was like because at first I thought that Tsukasa was the reason why they disrobed, but that to be like a thing, like it's interesting. I guess it's sort of like a metaphor for like the influence that they have over like the culinary world and stuff. Like that makes sense, I guess, in that sense. In terms of writing, I guess it's cool. But it was really funny. It was really funny. It was super hyped too. Yeah, I also feel like it should be only something like it should be like a kind of blood sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that should be a thing, but it's odd. I mean, I guess at some point he was like maybe even before he had Erina, you know, he was sort of like already kind of ingratiated into the family and everything like that. So I don't know. And then once he started doing certain things, they were like, nah, you got to go. So I don't know. It could be a bunch of things. But I agree. I do think it would be better if it was something that he couldn't do and that it was just Tsukasa that made other people in the vicinity disrobe. Like, yo, for absolute fairness regarding Azami, since if Soma Erina just strip more people, it'll show that Azami likes her dish more. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He can't help it. He's like, I just can't help it, yo. He can't lie. He can't lie. Right? I like that. All right, next chapter. Next chapter is the last one. These two chapters have been very good so far. They've done different things that I you know, that I either really, really liked or I appreciated and still thought was like super creepy and stuff like that. Like the first chapter, I was like, that stuff was creepy. But I thought like the manga did a great job of like portraying that and emoting that, you know. All right, last one is today's issue, the April 2nd issue. Food Wars, chapter 257. That's on page 108. How to build a specialty. Resistance army. All right, let's see. Oh, Assassination Classroom has on the last volume is translated, which is awesome. Like that's another one that I'm gonna collect all of them. I only have like I think 3 volumes right now, but I've read all of Assassination Classroom. Like I love that series. That's another one that I'm gonna have like all 21 volumes. Like definitely. Like I have a Comic-Con lanyard, which is basically like, you know, sort of like thing that you put around your neck, like when you hold like a convention badge or whatever. And it's like an Assassination Classroom lanyard that like you only got if you went to the I think it was like 2016 Comic-Con 2016, I believe. And there's like Yusei Matsui came to Comic-Con then in New York. And I saw him and it was a panel. I got to ask him a question. It was super dope. And I have that lanyard and like I use that for like anything that I go to that requires a badge. Super dope. So I'm gonna have all of those volumes at some point. Okay, chapter 257. A specialty strong enough to beat even Aishi Tsukasa? I couldn't make it then. But now it's on. Right here. Right now. He's going to come up with a brand new specialty on the spot? He's in the middle of a Shokugeki. How on earth? Not only that, Yukihita's supposed to be making the appetizer. Is he going to make some kind of appetizer specialty? Well, it is Yukihita. Can't you just picture him making a specialty out of some common bar snack? Yo, Max. Try this. It's my appetizer specialty. The greatest vinegared mozuku seaweed salad ever. That's plain. I have no idea what you're planning, but whatever it is, it won't work. Taking into consideration your current skill level, it would be impossible for you to overcome Tsukasa. So do us all a favor and cease this foolish boasting. Irina, our key, is contaminated enough as it is. I don't need you making it worse. Hey, guys, what happened to the super long planning meeting you had last night, huh? Didn't you, plan for this? I'll say it one more time. I'm going to be all like, wha-bam, and make a super awesome main dish kind of like this one. Then the judges will be all like, so amazing, and I'll win the whole thing right there. You just come up with some snappy appetizer or whatever that'll make this stand out. Got it? Why must you always go about everything so carelessly? Do you have even the first idea what a truly elegant gourmet meal consists of? It seems we may have to begin with me giving you a thorough lecture on that very thing. Incredible. Both of them have completely different visions for their meal. I don't think I've ever seen a meeting this unfocused and divisive. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? They really need to make up their minds quickly so that they can get some rest. Fine, if that's the way this is gonna go, then I'm gonna whip these up for you and make you understand. There, dig in. The dish that made Master Shinomiya acknowledge my talent. Elsewhere, Kojito Shinomiya was suddenly overwhelmed with the urge to snap, don't flatter yourself. Quail stuffed with risotto and egg uppity brat style. And here's a dish I perfected during the Moon Festival that knocked Kuga-senpai's booth for a loop. My countdown curry mappo noodles. Oh wow, they both look really tasty. My, and these are, they're the two best recipes I've got right now. In a way, you can consider them my specialties, and I've dubbed them new and improved. Go on, Nakiri, eat up. Then, once you realize how awesomely delicious they both are, let me make the main dish and, oh boy. I can see why Chef Shinomiya would agree to place this dish on the la carte menu of his French restaurant. Given the advice and arrangements he obviously made, it's a very persuasive recipe. However, it lacks the impact and weight of a true main dish, which would explain why it has never appeared on the formal menu for Shino's Tokyo. The same goes for this dish. Although it has quite a few interesting features to it, making it highly polished for a single dish, it's much too complex to weave into the tapestry that is a proper gourmet course, which is understandable, given that it is a one-off designed with no thought to what comes before or after. I'll tell you this now. In order to secure victory, our main dish must be created with powerful and persuasive flavor by our most skilled chef. I can say that not out of selfish pride, but as our best move on a purely strategic level. Hey, whoa, hold it. Who says you're the better chef, huh? On that matter, we have objective proof. I was 10th seat on the Council of 10. You are an average student. Therefore, it is obvious who should make the main dish. I love it. This is this is so good. Huh? Stop acting all high and mighty. You renounced your seat on the council, remember? You're just an average student now, too. So there. Now you're just splitting hairs. Whatever. You make the appetizer. No, you. Could both of you please calm down? Yukihita, Nakiri, perhaps a short break is in order? Ugh, enough. Enough of this. I'm getting some fresh air. I'll come with you, Nakiri. Yukihita, this discussion is not over. You hear me? Once I have taken my break, I'm going to give you my perfect plan for the perfect course should I make the main dish. And then I will pound it into your skull, so prepare yourself. Well, wasn't that the exciting discussion, Soma? If I can't get her to, if I can't get her to give in, it might come down to rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the main dish. Please don't. And should you lose, would you quietly accept that result and make the appetizer? Much as I hate to consider it, it is a possibility. It is the only possibility. Stop seriously considering the ludicrous. Oh, wait. Hey, Ishiki-senpai. What does everybody mean when they say Nikiri is the key? Miss Une said something about it earlier. Essentially, the Yazami administration means to take advantage of her divine tongue. The divine tongue is capable of accurately pinpointing what is good and bad about a dish. With it as the ultimate guide, all chefs can be freed from the stress and uncertainty of having to be creative and original. That's central main goal in a nutshell. She is quite literally the linchpin of their revolution. It's no wonder they call her their key. Is that right? Interesting. Hey, Nakiri. This is some chicken liver I just sauteed. Taste it for me, quick. Yo, huh? Yukihito, what are you doing? You're in the middle of cooking. The rules say it's okay for teammates to help each other during a team Shokugeki, right? So then there's no problem with my asking her to help me by taste testing my stuff. If you're going to take advantage of what Nakiri as your key or whatever, then what's wrong with my taking advantage of her as well? Brr, what's with that evil look? Hey, don't go taking advantage of your friends. Still, that does make sense. Unacceptable. Rubbing the liver in your handmade mayonnaise was a clever twist, but the flavor as it hits the tongue is insufficient. Try adding a pinch of salt. Roger, how's the ratio? Acceptable. I see. At each step of his preparation, he's having Miss Irina fine-tune the flavor of each ingredient. This way, even though Soma may not have the necessary skill on his own, he should be able to ratchet the flavor of his dish up to the highest level theoretically possible. Ah, okay. By following the lead of the correct compass, he's finding his way to the correct answer for his seasonings. In that case, he may be able to create a really good appetizer after all. Huh? Cooking the way someone else tells him to seems like something Yukihito would balk at. No, even Yukihito knows and accepts Miss Irina's skill. This is a sign of the trust he has in her. Could you taste this spice blend? How's the balance of this sauce? He's chosen to ask respectfully for my direction. I'd like to praise him for that. All right, that is the flashback. All right, how about this? We'll spend all night creating multiple possible course combinations. So we'll be fully prepared no matter which of us has the privilege of making the main course. But for some reason, I have a nagging feeling he's making spontaneous changes to the instructions I gave him during our meeting. Wait, what, Yukihito? What on earth are you doing? There, it's done. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Huh? What the? Whoa, hold on a minute. Dig in. Here's a tasty appetizer for you. No, so what are you doing, man? What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. You're doing something. All right, Soma, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Really good, really good. Yeah, Assassination Classroom is one of my favorite mangas like ever. Like it was so, I feel like it was like perfectly done. It's one of those few manga that like at least for a Weekly Shonen Jump title. I mean, maybe just for a manga period, I think it was just perfectly done. It did things in such a phenomenal way. It never did like, it never like even really overdid it with like bits of fan service and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was just so well done. The story was great. The way it focused on the kids was great. The backstory was phenomenal. Certain twists were amazing, and just knocked me for a loop. And the ending was fantastic. I mean, it was so good. It was so good. It's so funny. Yeah, it's probably, yeah. Something tells me it's probably an egg. It's probably an egg dish. That'd be dope. You know, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. It probably will be, or it might incorporate ingredients that he's used for separate dishes, and they might be trying to put them together. If it was an egg dish, that'd be super dope. I would love that. Or you know, like it might be an egg dish, a rice dish. It'd be really cool. I'd like that. I'd like to see that. But it was an awesome chapter. These are fantastic. Shokugeki's been on like boom, 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 boom. The last like I want to say 5 or 6 chapters have been fantastic. Really, really great stuff. So just in terms of like, just like a review, I kind of was talking about stuff like during the live reaction, but I really loved, I like the thing that I loved about the, like I said, like 255, like it was super, super creepy, but like what I loved about that, no. Yeah, 255 was like the super creepo factor chapter, right? Like I think, wait, was it? Let me see. Let me make sure. Cause I always want to make sure that that's what it is. I'm just gonna use yeah. Like it was super creepy. But what it did that I thought was fantastic was that it showcased like just in the ways that like mentors can be extremely wonderful or super like harmful, right, to students, and I think a lot of people don't talk about this too often. I mean, this is like at any level. It doesn't matter where it is, right? It could be elementary school to graduate schools, whatever. Like mentors can either be really, really wonderful and super great for your own like productivity and your growth and everything, or they can be extremely harmful and stunt your own growth and force you to have to like make the decision of like cutting ties with them entirely. Like I think that chapter did a great job. And like Tsukasa is someone that like I think in a lot of ways he's just looking for like companionship in a particular way, like cooking companionship, and he's like a particular sort of type of individual who is not great with people. So when he finds someone, whether that's an adult or a person his age, closer to his age, it's like he's like, oh man, this is cool. Like, it makes him happy. So it's like, yes, it makes him happy, but it's also like, dude, like you can't see because you're not good with people, you're not good at reading people necessarily in certain ways. You can't see how toxic this dude is. You know what I mean? So it's like I think that like they like Shokugeki's done a great job with that. And I also like think like Rindo's just cool. Rindo's just like one of those people. Like Rindo's such a Soma kind of person. Like I think Soma's like the type of person that would love to travel, look for rare ingredients, do all these things, but like he doesn't necessarily really have the resources yet, right? Like he doesn't have an Elite 10 seat. I think once he does have that seat, he'll do a lot more things and sort of get closer to like sort of the type of chef that Rindo is in some ways. But that was awesome. The fact that Rindo used like the ants and I learned something. I like one thing I love about Shokugeki is that I always learn something about cooking, about baking, whatever, and like that idea of like using the formic acid from ants to like add like a tartness that is both similar and different from the tartness that you get from like citrus. That was super dope. That's super dope. You know what I mean? Because some people like might just actually be like allergic to like certain things like citrus, like acid or something like that. Like they might not be able to eat that stuff. So it's cool to see to maybe try to get like a different kind of ingredient that sort of acts in a similar way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when like my fiance is allergic to garlic. So there are a lot of things like just like in restaurants and places and stuff like that she can't eat because they all like contain like garlic. There are a lot of things that you can't use in terms of like all spices and stuff, certain things like that, and whatever that you can't eat because they contain garlic, even if they don't say garlic on the packet. If let's say like you look at a packet and it's like natural spices or whatever, like it probably has garlic in it, So, but they won't put garlic on the packet. So you have to figure out like other alternatives to those things that are just as good. That's what I think that's one thing I really, really loved about on that chapter, and like Rindo's cooking and everything like that. She's always pushing the envelope, always looking for more ingredients, rare ingredients that can do similar things, but might be able to even do them better. That's awesome. That's awesome stuff. That's one thing I like, again. So I appreciate that. Like I'm always learning from this manga. I'm always learning about different things, different ways of approaching like cooking and stuff like that. And 256 and 257 were just like phenomenal, right? Like, I mean, it was a different, like, right, again, Tsukasa has like there's a personality there, I guess. Not even a personality, but like there's there are particular emotions that we didn't really get out of Tsukasa earlier in the series, after like right after his introduction. Now it's like, you know, he's upset, angry, frustrated, happy, you know, in like these really pure sort of ways. And I really like seeing that, right? And like the fact that he decided to like cook the venison and then he had this whole excuse like, oh well, you know, I thought I could beat you just with this dish, but I didn't want to use true gourmet. I didn't, but you know, and it wasn't necessarily true gourmet, but because this dish is true gourmet, now I'm gonna, you know, use my best. And it's just like, it's interesting because I think that's not all there is to it. I think he's legitimately like saying, hey, this is the best dish that I can make. Like it's like, I don't like, it's not a coincidence that like he's making another venison dish. I don't believe that, you know. And I think that this is one of those spaces where it's like, I think Tsukasa doesn't even necessarily know or realize that that might be something that he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he might not even realize that he's trying to like curb stomp Soma in particular. You know what I mean? Because Soma represents all of these different things. You know, the only reason he hasn't tried to curb stomp Rindo yet is because Rindo is on their side right now. You know, and I think Rindo just values their friendship, and that Rindo probably sees something in Tsukasa that you know, that even he might not see. You know, so great stuff, great stuff. These chapters, and then Soma just absolutely ridiculous. 257 was wonderful, just because like their banter was hilarious. It was pretty much everything that we've been thinking about. If you know, from those of us that have been reading Shokugeki, like, and are caught up and know all about what's been going on and everything like that. It's just stuff that we know, like we've been looking at, we've been seeing, you know, that we've thought about in terms of how they might interact. You know, once they get a bit closer and everything like that, it's just super funny. You know, all these arguments about, you know, is Irina a better chef than Soma just because she's a 10th seat, or she was a 10th seat? You know, stuff like that is really funny. And while we don't get an actual answer to that, I think there are a lot of people who do think that Erina is a better chef than Soma in terms of like skill, because she is a 10th seed, and a lot of people think that. And like, again, that's like something, you know, they have to figure out. And I don't know, it's interesting. And what I also like about it is that, like, you know, Erina like realizes that even her sort of divine tongue, even her like advice and her tips can't really reel in Soma as the type of chef that he is. And I really appreciate that, because it's like, you know, when that was happening, it was like, I didn't like it. Like, it was like I understood it as a strategy. And I think as a strategy, it's smart and it makes sense. But I think that, like, even the way that Irina sort of approached that, you know, this sort of nagging feeling, it's like there was a nagging feeling that we had as readers, I think, some of us, in the sense that, you know, yeah, Soma's doing his thing and it's cool, but like, where's Soma though in doing that? Like, how is he using that to make sure that he stays his own self, that, you know, everything is still original and certain things like that, right? Like, I think it's great. I think it's great that we got to sort of see that. And I will say that, like, you know, there could be a counter to that, in the sense that he's still using the ingredients he wants to use. He's still thinking up the core sort of idea of the dish and what the ingredients are and how they go together. He's just using he's just I don't want to say using Erina, but asking Erina for help to sort of say, like, okay, how do I fine tune this dish that I want to make? And I think generally that's fine. I think it's just different. Like, right? Whereas Soma's asking for help to just be like, hey, like, we got to win this so that we can just be our own selves and our own chefs. Izami is more like, I don't care about your opinion outside of you being the divine tongue and whether this dish is at a place that it needs to be. It's more like Soma's like, hey, like, you are my friend. I'm asking for your advice as a friend. Let's make can you help me make my dish better? I think that's cool if you look at it that way. But I also feel like, I like seeing Soma just kind of doggedly push and everything like that. But at the same time, I think it's also great for Soma in terms of growth to be like, hey, can I ask for this and that? Because he's been doing that. He's been asking people for help and everything. And I think that him doing that with Edna is great. It makes some sense, and it allows for sort of a double growth to happen, a dual growth. Right, and that was the thing, right? And it was like when I saw it the first time, it was like I was like, oh, I thought Tsukasa was kind of like someone who was like, oh, he's too cool for school, da da da. But then like I believe it was Mid-Matt. I believe it was you that like we had a conversation like and you like convinced me that like might have been someone else, but I feel like it was you. But like and you convinced me that like it was like Tsukasa clearly like it has like social like not only just like social anxiety but also like other things like that stop him from really being able to socialize in a particular way with people, and he has an extremely hard time doing that. So it's not necessarily that he's selfish. It's more like this is something that like it is extremely hard for him to do, and I think at some level he might want to be able to do that. So really, really great stuff. So I think once they sort of made that a bit more clear, at least for me, because I think for some other people it was clear, but I think for me, once that was made more clear, like I could really appreciate Tsukasa more as a character and understand him a bit more and kind of identify in some ways with certain things like that. Because when I was younger, I had a really hard time socializing with people. Like I was just like, I don't know, I kind of like latch on to like maybe a couple of people, a few people that I talk to all the time. But now I'm way better at. I'm like much more of an extrovert in like certain ways, and I'm way more of like someone who enjoys being around a lot of people and stuff like that, and talking with people and getting to know them and everything like that. So yeah, and I hope that for Tsukasa he does sort of like grow in that way, and is better with at socializing with people and being open in that sense. I don't know. That's where I'm gonna end it there. But these 3 chapters were fire chapters. They were so good. Like the hype man. Again, I feel like Tsukasa doesn't even see that. Like he doesn't even realize his own sort of emotions in certain things. Like I think he genuinely like is like I think I do want to like really beat Soma right now. I just want to beat him into the ground. Like it's not a coincidence that you use venison. You could have like he really could have done. I think I feel like it's like yes, he's like this is my best dish. I'm like. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just have an inkling about that. But that's kind of how I feel about it. All right. So I'm the Black Manga Critic. Thank all you for coming through. Thank you, Shugama, for coming through. They very much are like a married couple Shugama. They are like they're so funny. So funny. But shouts out to Mid-Matt44 for coming through. Shouts out to Shugama for coming through. Y'all are awesome. Shokugeki fans, stand up. You know what it is. All right. I'm a Black Manga Critic, y'all. That was my live reaction / review of Shokugeki no Soma chapters 257 and 255 to 257. I'm the Black Manga Critic once again, and I'm out.